Hey, if you're ready to get started in real estate and real estate investing, especially as the new year approaches in 2023, I want to share with you my story and how you can do that, especially if you're just a blue collar person, you're a tradesman, there's no excuse, you're watching TMBRMAN TV. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know anything about me, my name is Nate Halverson. I go by TMBRMAN. I've been a carpenter. I've been doing construction for 7 years plus now. But over these years, I've started to get into real estate, purchasing my own property, then doing it again and again, and started to invest into doing flips and doing wholesale deals, and now lending hard money and have my mortgage license. So this can all be confusing, but I want to break this down into how this all evolved and how you can do the same thing and what aspects of real estate that you can actually start getting involved with right now with no money, with no experience. It really just takes effort. There's a saying that I love, that real estate works when you work it. It doesn't have to be a scary thing that you think only smart and rich people do. It's really not. It just has to take effort from you to make it work. That being said, if you're watching this video and you're a lazy person, you should probably just turn off the video. Yes, I want the views, I want the clicks, but I really don't care. I want to speak to certain individuals that are hungry, that are motivated, that actually want to put work in and get rewarded financially for the efforts that they put into real estate and real estate investing. See, when I first started out in carpentry, I just did what I knew. I did what I knew I could make money at. And although it wasn't a ton of money starting off, it at least fed me and put food on the table. And the scary thing about real estate and real estate investing, I believe to a lot of blue collar people, is that you don't get paid right away. Therefore, well, I can't focus on real estate and real estate investing because I need to make money quick. I need to make money now. And there is one way you can make money pretty quick in real estate investing. I'll get into that. But for the majority of it, if you're doing flips, if you're trying to have a rental and grow wealth and you have no money, well, yeah, that takes time. That's why a lot of people cling on to their blue collar jobs, to their 9-to-5 jobs, because they're getting paid every week, they're getting paid every other week, and they got to put food on the table. And hey, I get that. I've been there. I still do that. But when you understand how real estate builds wealth and how to utilize it and how you can do it on the side, on top of your job, then that's where you can break through, break out of this chain of generational blue collar life and start to actually build wealth for you and your family. Now, while real estate isn't the only thing that can make you money, it's something that's been proven to appreciate over time. If you look at this graph from 100 years ago to where we're at today, look at the median household, how much it's appreciated over time. So although there's going to be dips, highs, and lows throughout the market year in and year out, over time, the market's always going to appreciate. So what that means is a house that you buy now is going to be worth more than it is 10 years from now than it is right now. So you're going to make money just having that asset. It makes money for you. Real estate is one of the only things that actually does that. And it's working when you're not working, right? You're sleeping and your house is making you money. It's something that's an incredible thing once you start to attain real estate and you understand how to use it. But it's something that you'll never have a taste of if you don't actually get started. If you don't put your mind to learning how to invest in real estate and start learning how you can start today in any aspect possible with the skill sets that you have. All right, so enough talking about it. Let's actually get to some application. And I want to give you 3 easy ways that you can get started in real estate to make money, just being a blue collar person, being a tradesperson. You can start right now, but let's make a goal of 2023 that, hey, you're going to be considered a real estate investor. Investor is a fancy word. Don't be scared of it. You can be a real estate investor just by getting involved. Let's start with the first way that I believe you can get started in real estate investing right now, and I believe is the easiest, and that's in wholesaling properties. Now, wholesaling just means that you're going to put a property under contract and you're going to assign that contract or sell that contract to another investor who's going to take that property and actually do the rehab or rent it out or Airbnb it, whatever that investor is going to do. All right, so that sounds easy enough, but how do you actually do that? How do you get a property under contract, and where do I even find these properties? So that's a great question. Getting a property under contract is a lot easier than it sounds. Really, there's no laws to getting a property under contract. You have to be at least 18 years old in the US to put a property under contract, and typically you have to have some earnest money to put down. And in a lot of states, this can be as little as $100. Most times you'll put $500 to $1,000 down, but you'll end up getting that money back when you wholesale the deal. So let's use simple math and simple terms. Let's say you're shopping in a neighborhood that's The average house is $300,000, and you find one that's pretty crappy. It might look like this, and you offer $150,000 on that property because it needs a lot of work, right? So you find that property, the sellers are distressed, and you come in, Mr. Investor, you offer $150,000 on that property. They say, you know what, we'll take it. We don't want to deal with the market. We don't want to deal with the real estate agents. We don't want a long close. We need money now. And in the investing world, you can get funding in as little as a week. So it makes a lot more sense for people to sell in that situation than go through the whole MLS market to try and sell. So you come in and snag that property for $150,000, and you assign and sell that contract for $160,000, so $10,000 more to another investor. Now that investor still has a lot of room because remember, the ARV after repair value in the neighborhood is $300,000. So they bought it at $160,000. There's still plenty of room to make a profit after they do their renovation. But in the meantime, this gap, this spread right here was $10,000 that you made just by assigning the contract, finding a property, and selling it to another investor. This can happen in as little as a week's time, and you just made $10,000. So again, it sounds too good to be true. It's not. It takes work. Finding that deal is not easy, right? You have to look online. You have to drive around your neighborhood. You have to know somebody that's hurting. You got to find that house. That is not easy. I'll tell you that right now. That is not easy. But you don't have to spend any money finding that house, and you can put an offer on properties like that all day long. So is it easy to make money wholesaling? 100%. It's very easy to make money wholesaling. Is it easy finding the properties and getting them under contract? Not necessarily, but you can get any property under contract and you can pull out of your contract and still be fine. So I believe wholesaling is an easy way in 2023 that you can get started and become a real estate investor and make very good money. The second way you can become a real estate investor in 2023, you can start putting yourself out there and make money investing in real estate, is actually flipping homes, buying a house and selling it at a higher dollar amount because you added value to it, right? You rehabbed it, you put new flooring in it, new paint, new roof, whatever that house needs to bring it up to speed with the rest of the market. That's called flipping a house. So remember, we had wholesaling. Let's say you're that guy that bought from the wholesaler, or maybe you're the one that snuck in and got that deal for $150,000 and you're ready to put some money into it yourself. Well, there's some ways you can do this that are strategic, and one way that I did it was by doing what's called a joint venture. Abbreviated, it's called a JV deal. What this is bringing another partner in who actually has money. A lot of you watching, you're like, okay, that sounds great, I'd like to flip a house, but it still costs money to put a down payment on a loan to acquire the property, and then I got to put money into fixing it. Well, Nate, I don't have all this money to buy the house. I don't have money to fix it up. And that's just too scary. I just need to work my 9 to 5. I just need to do what I got to do to put food on the table for my wife and kids. Hey, I understand. I had the same thought process as you. I get it. And I don't want you to jeopardize that. But what I'm sharing with you is how I did it using no money. I didn't spend $1. I didn't spend a dime. And I made money investing in real estate and still had my construction job. So again, I did what's called a joint venture. I presented a deal I had under contract to another investor. Actually, I presented to a couple investors, and the one that liked the deal said, yes, I will partner with you. And the partnership means I will bring the funds to you. So someone else brought the funds to close the hard money deal, and the hard money then was going to fund the deal and the rehab. So someone else came in and funded the project that I found. Remember, I spent $0. I found the property. Someone else came in and they funded the down payment, which allowed the process to begin of rehabbing the property. Now, I ran that project. I had guys, I had subs there, and the draw payments from the hard money were paying the construction costs, so I'm still not paying anything. And that property got rehabbed, put on the market, sold, and when you sell the property, whatever profits you have from selling it versus what you put into it, that's your net profit. And that you split between yourself and your JV, your joint venture partner. So in this case, I think we made like $20,000. It wasn't a huge flip, but we each got to split that money. And again, I made money doing nothing, and then my partner made money by me finding a deal. And you'll find partners that want to profit with you all day long on deals that you find. And although they might not be the best deal, that one wasn't that great, but hey, it was my first one. I learned a lot, and the second one I did a lot better than that. But still, the point is, you have to work it. You got to find deals, find people that want to partner with you to make extra money. If you're a blue-collar person, a tradesperson, let's say you make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, and you did one project a year, whether you did one wholesale deal, one flip. Let's say you only made $10,000. So what? That's an extra $10,000 on top of your original 9-to-5 income, and you're a real estate investor. Real estate's now starting to pay you. Now, the third way and the most lucrative way, in my opinion, is going to be holding on to properties as rentals. And let's go over the reasons why this works, and how this makes you the most money. So again, we went over wholesaling properties, getting a property under contract, selling it to another investor for a spread, right, a profit. Or you can be that investor who buys a property under contract, rehabs it and sells it, and you get a quick profit, right? You get money, but you lose the asset, you lose the house, you just get money. And the third way is actually buying a property under contract, rehabbing it, keeping it as a rental by refinancing it. You can refinance it up to 70-75% LTV, which is loan to value. A bank will lend on that, pay off your hard money loan. That's a whole nother video on lending. It's not part of this, but you buy the property, rehab it, refinance it, and you keep it as a rental property. So not only have you added value to a property, because basically you flipped it, right? Remember, there's already money in flipping if you do it right. So you made money flipping, but now you own it and you're keeping it, and you're going to get a tenant in there to start paying monthly on the mortgage. Now, what happens when a tenant pays monthly on your mortgage is someone else is paying your debt. Someone else is paying down your principal, and you're not most likely out of pocket. In some cases, you can be if the market's not, the rents aren't as high as your mortgage. But typically, the rents are higher than your mortgage payment, and someone else is paying down your asset. Now, what's happening also is your asset is appreciating over time. So someone lives in your rental house for 5 years, well, they've paid down your note X amount of dollars, which is your mortgage, and your house is appreciated as well. So not only has your balance gone down, your appreciation of your house has gone up, creating this larger spread of wealth in that one rental property that you own. So where real wealth is gained is when you can own multiple rental properties with other people paying down your mortgage and appreciation bringing the asset value up, right? So you have this spread this way of note going down, appreciation going up, and your wealth is growing. Now multiply that times 5, 10, 20 rentals, you can see how people make a ton of money and become very wealthy and financially free in owning rentals. Now, how do you do this with no money? How do I own a rental with no money? And there's two ways that you can do this, and let's go over those right now. I want to go over the harder version first, and then I'll go over the easier version, which I've done a couple times now, and that you can definitely do if you're owning your own primary residence. So let's go over that first way, which is called the BRRRR method: buy, rehab, refinance, repeat. I'm buying a property, I'm rehabbing and adding value to it, I refinance out of the hard money to get a conventional 30-year fixed loan on it, and then I repeat that process. I get a tenant in there, and I own that asset. Well, okay, how do you do this with no money? Well, remember I said the JV partner? That JV partner can come in and put the down payment down for you. You found the deal, so that's your half that you're contributing. He or she's contributing the funds. So you guys do this together, you refinance together. Now you can either choose to pay him off or still both be in the deal and own the rental together. If you're getting started, this is not a bad way to acquire real estate with partners that you can rent out. Remember, someone else is paying that down for both of you, and your wealth is still going to build even if you're in a partnership. And this is one way you can definitely grow wealth, grow rentals by having those partnerships and spending no money. So you're watching this, you're blue collar, you're a tradesman, you're someone that just wants to break out of a financial ditch that you've been in. Well, I'm telling you ways that you can do it. These are ways that I've done it and are continuing to do it, coming from being broke, living on a couch at 25 years old, to starting to sell things online and getting free pallets and selling online, to growing a construction business, to investing in real estate and continuing to do so. All right, the second way that you can acquire real estate, a rental that is is buying a house. Let's say you bought a primary residence, all right? You already live in a house right now with your family. You bought a house. And I did this when I was 28 years old. I bought my first property, and a year later, I used an FHA loan and bought another property. But what I did is I rented out that first property. I got a lease on it with tenants to rent out my first primary residence as I bought my second primary residence. And then as of last year, I just did that again. Now I have 2 rental properties that really started as primary residences that I then got a tenant in there and just bought another house. So there's not a lot of real estate savvy investing techniques. It's just buying a property. If you can utilize an FHA loan, you only have to put 3.5% down. So it's not a lot of money to put down on a house. And then you have to wait a year. You have to use it as your primary residence for a year. So you can't acquire a lot of properties in a short amount of time. But every year you can buy another property. So buy a house, get a tenant in it a year later, buy another house, get a tenant in that, buy another house. So it's a way you can acquire some properties by flipping your primary residence into a rental and repeating that process. And now you own rentals, which are appreciating as your notes are being paid down, thus gaining wealth. All right, now have I gone over every way that you can invest in real estate and make money? Absolutely not. I haven't even touched the surface. But I do think that these are 3 ways that are easy to get started, to get your feet wet in real estate investing. If you're watching this, I don't want you to be scared of those words. I don't want you to think that you can never attain that or attain financial freedom or some sort of security. I'm not telling you that you got to quit your job. I'm not selling you anything. I don't want you to buy anything, but I want you to understand and be educated on how you can actually get involved, how you can work real estate and allow real estate to work for you, work for your family, and grow a better future so you don't have to live stressful over your finances and your 9-to-5 job. All right, so hey, leave a comment below if you liked this video, if you learned something, if you have properties or you're an investor yourself. We'd love to hear your information. You're watching TMBRMAN TV. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and we'll see you next time.